Okay, let's do it. Desmos Live, 30 minutes of fun math, fun technology, fun people. Most fun of all on the show today, her first time appearance, Jenny Wales. Welcome to the show, Jenny. You've been here at Desmos for longer than anybody. Tell them where you live right now and what you do at Desmos and what's kept you around so long doing fun work.
Yeah, I live in Montana now. I have been at Desmos for okay, not as long as Eric, Jason, Eli, Mike, but a very long time, working on design there. And when I first started, it was just a web-based graphing calculator that definitely didn't have a designer on the team. So yeah, it's just been super fun. I think that in addition to a great team, everyone's like very helpful. We have found just a ton of really interesting problems to work on and seem to never stop coming up with new challenges. So it went from, graphing calculator to how can we use technology in the classroom in new ways? How can we build these things faster? Let's do more of this. So it's been fun.
Making new problems for ourselves, making trouble, and then cleaning up our mess. That's what we do. What keeps it interesting. So we're thrilled to have you on the show for the first time. A little bit later today, we're gonna say so long to a beloved activity, Jenny, one that Jenny doesn't like and wants to just get rid of, basically. So and then we'll bring in a new activity afterwards. First, though, it's time for a recurring segment at the top of our show, which is top 10 tabs. Just fun stuff I'm finding online from you folks throughout my week. I want to share real quick, get Jenny's take on a few of them. Here's what we got. First of all, love this tweet right here about assessment. This question to ask about assessment right here: does my grading system instill fear or hope? I, as a teacher, found my way around to some standards-based grading type work. It treated students really fairly in my view, but I never once thought of it as the balance between fear and hope. Dug that a lot. Jenny, would you ever describe an assessment system when you were a learner as instilling hope in you?
No, always fear.
I had a terrible thought as a new teacher that every test I gave where students were stressed about it, that reduced anxiety or repaired anxiety from my own childhood taking tests. Just a terrible thought, but I'm glad to have moved past that. I love this tweet right here. Dig it. That's number 10 out of 10 right here. A couple others. Casey McTeach, Casey McCormick. Are you on the stream, Casey? Use Desmos to create an open house activity for parents. Love that. Nice move. That's number 9. Number 8, moving along. Kristen Faust took some work from last week. Kristen says she does not like Nicolas Cage was the word, and so turn the Nicolas Cage check-in into a sloth check-in. Jenny, tell them, which sloth are you right now?
Cute, so cute. I'm a happy sloth.
Happy sloth. Good deal. Yeah, I'm feeling happy. I'm happy you're here. This is fun. A little bit flat. I don't know. Every day. It's kind of like all the above, really. Okay, cool stuff. That's number whatever that was. We got this person here, JC Mondragon 9, Jamin, right here. This right here, I love this. This is animation work and polygon work, combining both of Suzanne's Desmos Lives. I love this bit right here. So that's a little bit too low. And then what happens when it's too high? What's the move here? What do you think, Jenny? Here goes.
Overflow.
It's too high. Overflow. I said down here, I just love the chaos energy of the overflow. That's just super fun. Look at that. Boom. Dig it. It's like a whole ocean down there. Cool stuff. We love your work. Your work, your tweets make our work way more fun. This right here, we have a very topical polygon animation related to Game Stonk. I'm told it has to be called Game Stonk by Jenny, who's our resident millennial meme master. Anyway, dig that. It's all polygons and animation. Strong work. You can grab all these in the YouTube description at the end of the show here, the show notes. Dig it. A couple more. Kurt Salisbury, always just doing wild stuff, always dazzling, impressing. Here's polygons right here. We got pigs. We got, what animals are these here? Jenny, what do you think?
Deer.
Horse, donkey, deer.
Moose.
Moose? Moose could be moose. Dig it.
Could be a moose.
Love that. Pretty stuff. Couple more. Love Richard's work right here. Good grief. All polygons right there. How do you turn a bunch of polygons into just something that has a personality, a spirit like that right there? I don't know. It's just cool. Really cool stuff. Check that link. Check out the actual calculator at some point here. Only that grass background is an image. The rest is all polygon, all math, all points. Rad. This right here. Moving on through, we got this. I love this right here. We have Polygon Song. from They Might Be Giants kids album. This on the left hand side, that's just all graph. That's all graph right there. Do you love it? I love it.
I need the soundtrack. I gotta pick that one later.
I'm just a little bit worried about getting a copyright strike. That's all.
Everybody at the party is a many-sided polygon.
That's plenty right there. Leah, love the silhouette. I don't know. I haven't seen many graphs that are silhouettes right here. Pretty great.
It's very graceful.
Yeah. It's visual ASMR. I could just like watch that and fall asleep maybe. Cool stuff. And last one here. Shout out to a couple of familiar faces. Andrew here, who's on the current graph team member, and then Luke Walsh, who ran the Twitter feed before I took it over. And there was just a definite difference in tone in the Luke era and the Dan Meyer era. A little bit sassier with Dan Meyer. Luke was just one of the nicest people anyone's ever met, and no one's ever accused me of that. Anyway, they made this activity here, which I loved, angle estimation. I just share this, and it's just like, hey, estimate some angles. What do you know? Right here. This angle, whoa, that's a very small angle. Not too bad there. Okay. What do you think, Jenny? What's the angle?
Oh, that angle. Oh, I don't know. 200.
200. Let's go. Cook it. Not too bad. And then they have like, I don't know, like stats, a brag sheet. And this was so cool right here. I love this right here. Like how close you got your estimate to the actual, because you want that to be like right on the line there, I think. And Kristen is just showing like how one of her class was just like dead on, and another class, this is great. Let's just like talk about this. Let's figure out how to do some more estimation. That's the top 10 tabs. Really dig sharing with you folks. Back to you folks, like all the cool stuff that you're up to and doing. If you got any fun links you want to share, toss that into the chat. Bring some links next time. You know, like it's a potluck, and here I am bringing 10 dishes for you folks. And what have you brought in the chat? Where's your links? Bring some links. Okay, here's the deal. This is sad. We need to get some taps going, or some kind of I don't know, 21 gun salute. I don't know what's appropriate here. But I mentioned on Twitter that today we're going to say goodbye to one of these 4 beloved activities. A couple options here. We got function our Central Park, balloon float, click battle, turtle time trials, and like 100 other activities that have a turtle in them. And people were lobbying. They were lobbying. Do not remove click battle. Do not. Also, not click bots. It's been a staple. People were anxious. I get that, and I probably elevated anxiety too much. So brought Jenny on to do the deed. To make it happen. Which activity is going goodbye, Jenny?
Well, we can't get rid of the turtles because obviously they're just everywhere. Click battle is great. We are gonna have to. It's retiring. It's had a really great, long, amazing life. But Central Park, moving on to
going to the farm upstate.
It's not really, it's just coming back.
Going to the farm upstate. Goodbye. We have a website you might not know about called museum.desmos.com, and it's in the chat right now. And right here, you can forevermore, you can enjoy Central Park as it was. Remember it as it was right here, where if you don't know about it, Central Park, you drag out some parking lines right here and see if you can create the right equal widths here. And everyone just kind of loves the swearing car. Passenger side swears right there. Well, kids dug it. Some teachers were not so thrilled. How's that? Still didn't get it, huh? How's that looking? Oh yeah, yes.
Ooh.
Yes, after all these years,
Nice.
Not too bad. Okay, and then you do a couple others, different size widths, different dividers. Then you do the boats. Boats are slick.
The boats are hard.
I can't be stopped. I can be stopped. I was stopped. There we go. Okay. And then we move on here, and it's like, so what information would you need? We ask people to then calculate numerically. Do 3 of those. And the idea here is, I don't know, why did we build this, Jenny? Take us back in time here. What's the backstory here? What was the plan?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is our 3rd custom activity after Penny Circle and Function Carnival.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounds right.
And I think that someone, probably you or Christopher, had the idea of like, how can we get equations and like what do different variables mean and why do we even need them? and demonstrate a need there. And so another one of our different silly activities that kind of like, how can we put this into a context? Um, was to create a need of like why these equations are so powerful and help students kind of experience and get to that place with equations.
Yeah, yeah. I think this was at a point where I was like deep in like reading a guy named Gershon Harrell who wrote about intellectual need, and I came to like feel like my least favorite words in any math curriculum, like up there anyway, were write and expression. So in a problem like this right here, where it says write and expression, I just kind of lose my mind a little bit because for a couple of reasons. Like one, writing an expression is it's a difficult act. Like it's just challenging to use variables versus numbers versus your intuition. No one would do that here. Like if you were a parking lot designer person, which I assume is a real job, like you wouldn't use variables here. You would bust out a measuring tape and you would actually just like measure it. The expression has no need. It offers students no power. And so we figured that we could create a situation where students would experience variables as power rather than punishment. And so here they experience numbers. Like numerically, if I do like 35 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, all divided by 3 spaces? Not quite it. Divided by 4 because there's 4 spaces there. Like all of a sudden I'm feeling like some power that comes from numerical precision. I'm like, okay, that's easier for me than just like then continually kind of like messing it up by dragging. And eventually right here, we ask people to like verbally write down instructions. That's helpful to make the leap to variables. But right here, I love, this is one of my favorite screens of any we've done in the 7 years since, I think, where it's like, oh, I know the answer to this one right here. That 35, that was 8. 35 minus 3 divided by 4, that was 8. I can type in 8 here, and it works for this this parking lot in the top left. It does not for any others because they're all different widths and the dividers are different sizes. So this is where we've got to use. Say it with me now. Variables. That'd be what? The width.
You're on a roll with the live math doing. I actually tried to redo the screen when I was looking at the new one, and like, it's nice that we show you what happens and then you can change it.
Yeah. Want to see if your equation works for even more lots? I think that students like answered to this question, no, no, thank you. But if you do click that, we like show you all of these, including, which one's your favorite, Jenny?
The dragons for sure is my favorite.
I think dragons has just got to be like, that's way up there. Yep, those are Jenny's dragons. Anyway, all that. So that was Central Park. And so, I mean, you and I, as we talk about this, we still have the warm fuzzies about this activity. So why are you, Jenny Wales, putting this one in the ground here? Like, what's the deal? Why?
I personally have led the campaign against this. So a lot of our older activities were built before we had Activity Builder. So everything that powers this activity is custom code. And you can tell like our student navigation has changed since we built this. Our dashboard has changed since we built this. And so we get a lot of emails from people being like, I want to use Anonymize in the dashboard or pacing, but it doesn't exist for these activities because they're totally their own code. So when we rebuilt this in Activity Builder, we have a new version that like is better in so many ways. And you get a lot of the tools as we improve them that come out of the box with that. So now any improvements we make to the teacher dashboard, you'll get for this activity.
So here is the new Central Park right here.
And it looks so much better.
It does look better. I can't put my finger on like exactly why. I mean, it's much taller images, not quite as wide maybe, but wow, just gorgeous illustrations there. We have illustrators full time now. This is just what they do, is make stuff look awesome. Dragging. We have draggable. This is a calculator screen. What did we make the earliest one in? Was it just like JavaScript in its own kind of custom like web page?
Yeah. Very custom.
Yeah, and now this benefits. You can assign it just like a. I'm just so glad that we still have the power slide. Like the power slide is for me. I like the power slide even more than I like the swear car. Do we still have the swear car? I hope we do. Yeah, power slide and the swear cars. Got out the swear cars. So there it is, folks. We've got this right here. We have the 3 lots. I dig that. What measurements do you need? I'm just looking at this for the first time here. Rad. Okay, those right there. This is some of our, like the teaching faculty, the curriculum team now has like different ways that they ask questions that we've like researched and found to be productive, like asking about someone else's expression. Love seeing that. This right here, sketch on that. Okay. And again, using the variables all the way through. We have this screen right here. Yep, lots of spots. Loads of variables for you to use there. I'm really curious how students will react to all the variables, see how they handle that one right there. But it is towards the end, so folks can, do that for a bonus. And yeah, love this. And check it out. Just press that assign like normal, and you've got yourself a dashboard that has snapshotting, it's got pausing, it's got pacing, it's got all of that. What's going on under the hood here also, Jenny, aside from the dashboard? What else is cool about this that's new from this one that we're retiring?
Yeah, so okay, also before we move on from the old one, I would like to point out I was looking back through our notes of building this, and I think that Central Park was the first time we had like these open questions that we talked about and answered together. Um, and we said like, should students be able to see each other's work? Like how many responses when they like type the response, can share with your class. And I think Central Park was the first time that we did that. And then we also had an open question of should students be able to edit their responses? And this was like the first time that we had talked about doing that, which we're now just like, obviously you can do that in Desmos activity. And this is the first time that that existed, which is very awesome. Thank you, Central Park. This new one has a lot of work that's come along since then, including a lot of our accessibility features. For example, the graphs have graph narration that you can add with computation layer to kind of describe what's going on for students who can't see all the beautiful illustrations. And then just a lot of like keyboard navigation, screen reader navigation that comes with it, in addition to all the feature tools. And just when we were building custom activities, we used some similar things, but a lot of the UI patterns were changing activity to activity because we could. And one of the really nice things about Activity Builder is that students are using the consistent inputs and ways of expressing themselves throughout the different activities they're using. So they'll be more comfortable with using this activity.
Yeah, I'm curious from teachers in the chat if you've used Central Park along with like, I don't know, Marble slides or other more modern activities. Like if students had a moment of dissonance, like, are you sure this is Desmos and not like
how do you go to the next screen?
Desmos's younger cousin or something like that? Like this feels like Desmos-ish, like kind of knockoff Desmos. I don't know. Yeah, I love that improvements we make to Desmos from now on benefit Central Park. I'm happy that Central Park is staying with us. So we put it in the ground and it came back up, reborn as new Central Park. We couldn't do it to Central Park like that. In researching like the history of this thing, I did come across a video. It's 2 minutes long, and I'm not sure I'm allowed to show it, but it shares with you folks like real rough looking Desmos activity style. Like I'm curious, Jenny, I'm gonna show it to you, and I'm curious what parts of it make you cringe and what parts of it make you proud. And I hope there's some of both. I know there's gonna be cringes, but there's parts of that I'm just like, oh yeah, we kind of did have like an idea there that I'm still proud of, even 7 years later. So here it is. This was originally called Parking Mogul. This one right here.
Such a bad name.
There's not a lot that's great about much of this, but so here it is right here. Who knows whose voice this is? Ring it out in the chat.
All right, so we start. They enter, they can drag these yellow lines.
So far, so good.
Whatever order they want. They press done, the cars drive in. We don't show them numbers here. We don't show them accuracy. We store accuracy and we store how long it took them between typing and pressing done. We do this again, but now the sizes are a little bit different. We maybe have thicker lines here. We do it again, the colors changed, the size of the dividers has also changed, same interaction. Here we ask the first question, suppose you wanted to figure out the exact space, what information would you need? They type it in, they press submit, theirs is stored, they can't go back and change it. Underneath they see what some of their classmates said. If they're the first one to do this, it just sits there waiting until some have showed up. Right now we only show 3.
Come on, I'm just pausing real fast here. That's pretty good, right? Like that'll work.
Yeah,
What's your take?
I guess the point across. I can't believe I think this was like a keynote slide deck for the first time to make all the animations work. A lot of the same ideas are there, just obviously a lot more fleshed out and working a lot better. Like I think Eli just said you can't edit your response.
No
It
editing.
obviously have
Yeah.
changed. There's
Yeah.
yellow, which obviously has changed.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I was giving keynote presentations like a while. Like I wanted this so bad. Like I wanted to see other students' responses, and I feel like there at the time and even now still there's like a sense like no, we got to lock that down. Like what if students cheat or say a swear or something? I think we just found like so much that the teachers, you folks who assign these lessons, like it's a matter of class culture to see what students say, and if you expect of them interesting responses, and if you reinforce that through snapshotting and throwing praise on those, that students rise to the occasion. I think is what we found over and over again, and we're still in a landscape of digital math where students are kind of like in this bunker mentality, and it's just like me and my device. And I don't know. I'm proud of what we did there. I think that I'm glad that we decided to allow editing after all. But that's cool stuff. Keep going.
All right, so now we're computing. We show a couple measurements in line. We also have that up in the title. They enter numbers into a box. They press done. The lines move, and the cars drive. The fourth part
Homer!
can't fit, so Angry Homer comes out. That'll be replaced with
Had to lose Homer.
all of these. They
Copyright
upgrade
it.
to 4.75. Readjust. Cars all fit. We do it again. Different size things. We do it again. Different size things. And now we're into the next phase. So here we ask this question: write instructions telling a friend how to calculate the right width of the parking space.
What's up with the aspect ratio on that text input? Like a square text input is that?
But it's mocked up now with the same.
Obviously,
know,
that
this
was
is-
also
as
changed.
well.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in the abstraction phase. Here we've got 4 side by side. Simultaneously, you're doing 4 scenarios at different zoom levels and different sizes and different widths. You type an equation in, it automatically uses that to compute what's going
Also,
on.
just like it's the longest list of keynote animations per slide.
Yeah. If you've done Keynote, you know how tough this was to make probably right here.
You press the done button.
Yeah.
Runs the animation on each of the 4 ones simultaneously. So
We really wanted to swap in numbers so people would see that. That's interesting. I don't think we kept that.
the second lot, and it would do the same.
Yeah, I'm into this.
And the fourth. As far as I've gotten so far.
That's pretty far. I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah, that's all my related videos. Let's get rid of that. Anyway, that's Central Park, folks. That's all for you. I'd love to hear what you think about that, how it's going for you. And I just want to also say that we are redoing in a similar form and fashion another beloved activity number 2 in the Desmos Pantheon. You know what it is. Function Carnival, getting a sweet Desmos Activity Builder upgrade. Probably not going to do a whole show on that one, but that's coming to you real soon. Look at that gorgeous sky. The clouds are moving, huh? Yeah, love that. We got folks in the chat asking about Function Carnival. Redo of Function Carnival. Function Carnival. They want it, and you got it. So that's our first 3 activities. Penny Circle, Function Carnival, Central Park. Still with us, still kicking. And you can check out at museum.desmos.com all the originals, all the fun stuff. They live there. So any closing thoughts here from you, Jenny, about our work here? Well wishes for the group, for the team on the chat.
Yeah, it's fun to take a look at stuff we made in like 2014 and how much we've learned since then, and then how like the ideas are still really there and the core is awesome.
Yeah, I hope this trip down memory lane hasn't been too traumatic, like opening up a yearbook from high school or whatever. I hope it hasn't been quite like that. I myself, I'm grateful that Nolan Fossum reminded me that we should, you know, be gentle with our former selves, our earlier, younger selves who knew less than we do now, and be grateful that we had like some strong ideas about design and education, technology. That I think they've really like given us a lot of energy, even now, 7 or so years later. So hope you folks enjoyed that. Say what's up, and thanks to Jenny for stopping by, collecting her one-timer challenge coin here at Desmos Live. And I hope that you folks will show up next Thursday, where we will chat about what is going to be our biggest product release to date. We are all working very hard behind the scenes right now. Won't be a huge surprise for many of you folks. You've heard it referenced a couple times, but the form it's going to take is going to be new and very fun, very impressive, and we'll chat all about it next Thursday, and look forward to seeing you folks there. In the meantime, bring some a dish to the potluck next week, a tab or two to share, and we'll see you folks online. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Dave.